Hello guys, welcome to my channel and let me introduce myself first. My name is Rahman Goel and I'm currently in third year doing BTech in CSC in Triple IT Sonipat. So without any much further delays, so let's start with the question. So the question is from Codeforces and it's Karen and Kofi. So let me read the question first. To stay woke and attentive during class. Okay. So the question starts from there. She knows K coffee recipes, and the ith recipe suggests that the coffee should be brewed between Li and Ri inclusive to achieve the optimal taste. So we have some n recipes, and each of the ith recipes tells us about in which range of the degrees the coffee should be brewed. So the Karen thinks that a temperature is admissible if at least K recipes recommend it. So if out of cake recipes tells us that in this to this range you can view the coffee. So we can find out, we can say that the this temperature is the admissible temperature. Uh, so Karen has a fickle mind. Okay, so she has some few questions. The few question is like if she only wants to prepare coffee with a temperature between A and B inclusive, can you tell her how many admissible temperature? So she will ask us about few questions and from a temperature from A to B inclusive, and we have to find out how many admissible temperature that lies in with that range. I think you get the question. Uh, so what is the input so far? So N, K, and Q, where N is the number of recipes and minimum number of certain temperature that is admissible, that is K, and the questions that she asked. Then we have N, that is L, I, and Ri, that is the range of the temperature. And then we have Q, the temperature where we have to find out the admissible temperature so far. That is A and B in between of that. How many of we have to count. So output that I have already told we have to what we have to output. So what is the like I what is the question saying? We have already know, but let me explain it again. So we have some recipes, and in the and recipes, and the ith recipe tells us about from A to B range temperature. The recipe tells us about the coffee can be brewed, the optimal taste that we can get from that. So Karen thinks that if at least cake recipes say that this to this range, that is this to this temperature, is admissible. If K recipes say so, at least K recipes say so, then we can say that this temperature we can go with this temperature admissible. It is we say. So we have some few questions. So from A to B, and then we have to count how many of the admissible temperatures lies in that between A and B inclusive. So these are the problem tags, and before going to the question, I would recommend you to go with difference arrays because this is one the technique that we are using in this question, the difference array that we have to use in this. So I would recommend you to watch a video of PLE eliminator, that is difference array technique, or you can just go to this blog. This is the blog that explains difference array technique, and then you can do this question, the tag and array. But if you get the technique, I will also explain the question. Maybe you get from what the technique is if I explain this question. So let's move to the question. So there are, wait a second. So there are, this is N and this is K and then this is Q. So we have some three temperatures and here is this, the questions. So if we just go through all of them, like what the brute force comes in our mind, what the brute force that comes in our mind is like what we have to find out from here to here how many of that lies. So we will check, we will check to like we will do a for loop and from 91 to 94. First of all, we will see like we will make a count of that. That is 91. This recipe 91 and then 92 is also one, 93 is also one, 94 is also one. Here one represent that the recipe is saying that this to this temperature are okay to brew the coffee. Okay, so this is what it's saying. Then we can just move 92 to 94 and then check if it is greater than K. Like that we are doing like brute force technique is to move is to like temperature and is to put all the temperatures to move from L to R. Wait a second, just okay. Wait. So what we can do is like from 91 that we have done 192 we have done 93 4 we have also done that these are the temperature that this recipe is saying. Then we can do 92 to 97 that is 1 plus 1 2 1 plus 1 3 like we just make the array complete and then we will check from 92 to 94 how many of them are. It will all around up to order of n into q I think. Wait. Yes, because we are first iterating from the array of the recipes temperature in range temperature. We are putting that it may cost around the order of n into m. The reason behind this is wait. I think I'm just hallucinating. Wait a second. So what is the brute force? Brute force is like we can just make an array first of all, and let's index it as 91, and it's up to like 99. So from 91 to 94, we just put 1, 1, 1, 1 up to 92, 93, and 94. Then same with 92 to 97, we just do this and we just complete iterate overall. So what would be the time complexity for this one? It would be order of n since we are iterating whole of the ranges so far, whole of the queries ranges, and then for each query that is L to R, we are iterating that can post up around M. Wait a second. That is post up around M. Since wait, that posts us around K. Since from L to R we are iterating that. So order of N into K. So this is how we will prepare our array. Then after we have made make up array, then we are taking that those K queries to Q queries, the questions so far. And for each question, we then from 90 to 94, we will check how many of them are. So that will be post us around order of Q into M. Sorry, K. So it would be around 10 to the power 10. That will not, but that will gives us a TLE. So we have to think something different. We have to rotate around order of n or order of n log n. We have to think for that. So since queries questions are like uh, we queries questions are like we need to pre-compute. If the updation is not being there, like if there is no update in the given queries, then what we can do is to pre-compute first, like without doing anything. First of all, pre-compute that. Then we move to the queries. Then within order of one, we have done all of the things. That is the we will print out the output. This is what queries questions we can do, like intuition for them. If the updation is not there, that is we can say offline something like that. I don't know what we say such type of questions, but it's like we are not doing updation in queries, and we can do like in pre-computive, we can do pre-computation like before queries, we can do pre-computation, and then in order one, we will output our answer. So what we can do first of all, since if you have seen the video or read the blog of the defense array, it it would be much more easier for you how we can think this question. or maybe you can attempt by your all alone. But if you have no notes in, let me tell you. So what we can do is we can make a 2 into 10 to the power 5 of array. The size of that array is 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus 1. The reason behind plus 1 I will tell you. Since we know that 92 to 91 to 94 range, uh, is the range of the coffee brewing. So let's suppose this is 91 and this is 94. So in this range, the recipe is saying that in this range, the coffee brewed to be optimal taste. So what we were doing brute force, we were iterating all over this substring, or you can say the subarray. Sorry, substring of subarray. Uh, so what we can do, we are just doing plus, 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 and then plus. And here it's just stop, and here we just start off. So what if we can do is just rather than iterating the subarray, we can do is plus one here and then minus one at here. Because this, what is this thing? Like you just move here and then just go, and after you have completed this, just stop at here. That is put minus one. It means you just are stopping. It's just saying stop here at here, stop at here. So why we are doing like this? So it's because why we are doing this. As you might think like here plus one. What about inside of this subarray? We can do is like for this part that is 92. It will be dependent on its previous one that is 91. That is it's dependent on its previous one that is 91. The sum that we will do. I will just first of all make that array that how it will be overall look like. I think maybe you think I think that you may get some intuition so far. So we have just make a vector and it will like 91, 92, 93, 94, and up to 95, 97, 98, 99. Okay. So the first is 91 to 94. What we will do is plus one here and note inclusive. This one is inclusive. So note at here we will put minus one. That is r plus one. We will do minus one. That is at 95. Since because this part and this part are also inclusive. So you may get intuition why we were doing plus one the size. Size equal to 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus 1. Why we were doing that. So 92 to 97, so plus 1 at here, and 98 that is minus 1 at here. 97 to 99 plus 1 at here, and wait a second. At 100 we will just put minus 1. Then after doing this, since after doing this, you were asking that what about the subarray that is 91 to 94 we have done, but what about the between? So we can do is like we just add up. That is plus one at here, 92, and its previous one that is plus one that is plus two. That is prefix. You can say prefix sum total of prefix sum. That is plus two and then zero. That is plus two and then plus two. It would be one. It would be one. Wait. After doing that prefix sum, it would be wait, plus one. Since this one is zero, plus one, plus two, plus one, plus one, and wait, and that's zero. So we will just first of all, after doing that, we will do a prefix sum of that. Okay, so we have done a prefix sum. Now we go that 92 is one of the admissible temperature, and 93, 94 is also one of the admissible temperature, and 97. Since we find out that, but after doing this, we are just processing our questions. That also costs us around what order of k, I think two into Okay, that is we have to also we need to optimize this since we have optimized the first part. Now the second part we have to optimize. So how can we optimize? I think you got it. We need a prefix sum. Prefix sum for what? The reason is behind that we need for a range basis like from 92 to 96. Let's suppose we need to find out how many. So what we can do is we just do 96 minus 91 overall things we get from here. Totals 96 and from 90 then up to 91. We just remove this from this and we can get uh, the sub array how many count of the admissible temperature. So after doing this, we will just do the prefix sum so far. That is plus one, plus three. Sorry. First of all, we will mark out which one are admissible temperature. That is one, one, zero. Like we have already marked up. Like from true or false, you can think. Wait a second, just I just remove this part. First of all, remove this part. It will be much cleaner now. So these are the admissible temperature. Now, what admissible temperature? Now we will do the prefix sum to find out the count overall from the range that we can find out after processing those two questions. Like this one is zero, this one was plus one, this one will be plus two, this one will be plus three, and the three. Let me clean it. There, then it will be plus three. This will be three, four, then four, four, and then four. This is overall, it will be look like the prefix sum. After doing those prefix sum, then it is the first question is 92 to 94. So where is the 94? This one is 94. 91, 92, 93, 94. So from 94 minus 92, but 92 is also included. We cannot do this. So 94 minus 91, that is decrease one of the L, that way L minus 1 we will do. So it is 3. So the first uh, question output is 3. 93 to 97. So 97 was 4 and 92 was 1. That is, it would be 3. 95 to 96, it would be 0. And 90 to 100, it would be 4. This is the output. So I think you get the idea of the intuition we use so far. So I would recommend you first of all see the defense array video. Then you can approach the question without seeing my video. If you not able to solve, then you can see the video and what the intuition I have used. So let's come to the core part then. So first of all, we will just take the inputs and the size 2 into 2e5 plus 2 since I am using from one base index of the vector of the array. So v of wait, I think you will. So we will use a log long since it may exceed our overflow of the integer. So we will use long. So size and output all of them 0. Then from I equal to 0 to n, we will take all those temperature ranges. Then what I have done that is v of L plus plus and R plus 1. That is not the R, not the last. Wait. Not like this. Then 91 to 94. We will not put minus 1 at here. Then so what we were doing is from 90 to 94, not this one. That it this the rth one. Wait a second. That is 91 to 94. They both are inclusive. So we cannot put minus one at here. We will choose 95 because 91 and 94 are inclusive ones. So that way we do b of plus one minus minus. Then we just do the prefix sum of that, and we will take the prefix vector again. That is vector of long. After that, we will take the prefix values of those. That is the count so far. That is the count so far. That is 0, 5 is greater than equal to k. Then we will do plus one. since that is the admissible temperature. That is what we have done. Wait. So what we were doing, wait a second. Yeah. So this part, that is the count, that is prefix count, that is 0 plus 1, that is the admissible temperature. This one. So this one is we will store in the prefix. That is here. And then we will just uh, doing those few questions. We will work on those few questions. It is int A and int B. First we will take input and then just prefix of P minus prefix of A minus 1 since A minus 1 is the exclusive part and A is the inclusive part. So we will do like this. So if you have any questions regarding this, what I've explained, put those in those comments and I will see and I will explain. Thank you and bye.